The original seeds of the museum were actually sown in the first year that the museum was established, 1883. A.P.W. Thomas was appointed in that year as Professor of Biological Sciences. So he began establishing a collection of specimens. This was in no way a museum at that stage, but it was the beginning of the collection. In the beginning of the 1930s, this current building was erected, and Roy McGregor had a big hand, and he designed the whole side of the building as a museum. It was huge. It had no windows because of protecting specimens from light. All four walls were lined in glass-fronted cabinets, display cabinets, and there were two long island cabinets in the middle. And in this he set out to display the story of the evolution of the animal kingdom. In the 1990s, the three natural science departments, cell biology, botany and zoology, were united into one department. I was called out of retirement to pack up every specimen in the original museum, in the museum as it originally was, and store it. And then when the rooms were completed, I was called in again to redisplay. Of course, it's not quite the same.
Well, one of the most interesting stories about the museum is the story of Molly, which is the elephant that is in Mac 3, which when I was given the role as curator, I was handed a folder which said we had an elephant skull in there, but I couldn't find it. And it was only during renovations of BLT 100 that a cupboard was discovered, and there we discovered Molly the elephant.
There's stories about all sorts of exhibits. One of the things that I enjoyed when I was a staff member under Professor McGregor was sometimes to wander through the museum with him and have him tell me stories of the different exhibits. One that sticks in mind is a group of lizards in preservative in jars, explaining that when he was on one of his safari trips, at one stage he found the domestic cat playing with a very rare lizard, and he persuaded with chocolate to give the lizard up. And thereafter the cat used to bring him lizards every morning. In 1975 we held a ceremony here in the department for naming the museum in honour of Professor McGregor, who had by that stage retired. So it was at that point named the McGregor Museum.
We have a good collection of New Zealand bird species, very extensive Australian marsupial collection, and a good primate collection as well.
We not only have the great apes like the gorilla and chimpanzee and so forth, the various monkeys, and down to the tiny, rare animals from the Asian and African jungles. And we have skeletons of each of those, as well as the great apes. And that is something quite outstanding.